Hi everyone, so this is a subject I was asked to research by a good friend and I learned some new things along the way, so I'm super excited to share with all of you. We now have so many non-dairy milk alternatives, which is a good news, bad news situation. Good in that we have choices, bad in that it can be so overwhelming, and how is anyone supposed to know what is best for them? So I'm gonna break it down for you because I know the struggle is real. We have 8 non-dairy milks that are the most common to see on the shelves of the grocery store, and I'm putting them into 3 categories. First, we have legume milks, which are pea protein and soy milk. Then we have grain milks, which are hemp, oat, and rice. And then we have the nut milks, which are almond, cashew, and coconut. Now, everyone has different needs when choosing a milk, so I can't say that I believe there's any one milk that is the best. But things to consider are food sensitivities, taste, protein content, calorie and nutritional content, and the way the milk froths for coffee drinks. People often say to me that the nut milks are too thin and watery and that they hate them in their coffee drinks. And there are many things in the chemistry of these milks that create the best thickness when frothing, but the number one reason is the protein content. So that's why dairy milks froth the best, because it has the highest level of protein. And as protein content goes down, so does the thickness when it comes to frothing. So let's go through some basic bullet points of each of these. Based on what your specific needs are, you can decide which milk is best for you. And don't stress, I have put all this information in a cheat sheet with a chart, which you can download. First, the legume milks. The first one is a pea protein milk, which is a great option for people with nut and soy allergies. And it packs the most protein of all the other plant milks we're looking at. So for coffee drinks, this could mean good froth. And if you're looking to get protein into your kids, but can't do dairy, this could be a great option. Ripple is a very well-reviewed brand, but it does have sunflower oil in it, which I don't love. But as I've learned, there's no perfect option. The next is soy milk, which is the second highest in protein and therefore froths well for coffee. But soy can cause a lot of digestive upset for many, myself included, and it's not allowed in most elimination diets. Interesting to note, in the past there has been concern about the estrogen mimicking effects of soy and an impact with cancer, but it is now understood that that is not true. But as always with soy, in any of its forms, it must be organic, otherwise you're getting all sorts of icky along with it. Okay, so now we have the grain milks. The benefit of the grain milks is that they have more protein than the nut milks, but they are obviously higher in carbs. So for anyone who is on a paleo diet, for example, these milks might not be the best choice. The first in this category is hemp milk, which you may not be familiar with. It has a mildly sweet flavor and creamy texture, and it's also a good choice for people with nut and soy allergies. It has a bit more protein than the nut milks, so while I personally haven't tried it myself, from what I understand, it will froth well for coffee drinks. The second is oat milk. The biggest downside is that it has triple the calories and carbs as almond milk, for example, but it does have soluble fiber and of course is free of dairy, nuts, and soy. It froths well and it has a nice flavor, so that's why people are loving it these days. But as we talked about, it is higher in carbs compared to the other options. The third in this group is rice milk. This used to be the go-to for people with allergies because it's the most hypoallergenic, but it's high in calories and carbs and low in protein, so not too many redeeming qualities. If you do have a nut or soy allergy, some of the other milks we've discussed like oat, hemp, or pea seem to be better options. Okay, and for our third category, we have the nut milks. These are the milks that most people likely already know about. The biggest downside of the nut milks is a potential nut allergy, obviously, and they are also the lowest in protein. However, almond and coconut are by far the lowest in calories and carbs. So again, it's entirely dependent on what you're looking for. The first in this category is cashew milk. Of the 3 nut milks, cashew has the richest flavor and does have a little more protein than the other 2. With that, however, comes more calories and it tends to be a little pricier. A plus for cashew is that it does froth very well and tastes great. A negative is that cashews are a high FODMAP food and therefore can cause digestive discomfort for some. So this is one of those milks that you're probably gonna have to test and see if it works for you. The second in this category is almond milk, which has long been a go-to for the non-dairy alternative. The biggest plus is that it's the lowest in calories. There are tons of choices on the shelves, but the brand So Delicious just released a line of organic almond milks that have only 6 ingredients and no weird fillers, which a lot of the almond milks out there do. So make sure you're looking at the labels. You don't want to see a huge long list of ingredients. The third option in this group is coconut milk, which has a nice flavor and is one of the lowest in calories, but it does not froth well, period. It literally stays like water after it's been through the frother. Even milks that are half coconut come out watery. So while I think it's great for smoothies because it adds a nice liquid without many calories, it's not my favorite for a coffee drink. So there you have it, a comparison of 8 non-dairy milks. Click the link in my blog post to download a cheat sheet with a chart, since I know I just threw a lot of information at you. And one last thing to point out, in my comparison, I am using unsweetened milk. All of these milk come in 3 different categories. Original, which has added sugar, unsweetened original, which is what I was looking at and has no added sugar. And then the third option is unsweetened vanilla, which uses vanilla extract to sweeten the milk without adding sugar. So once you decide which milk best suits your needs, make sure you're buying the best version of that milk for your needs. So sorry I went a bit over 5 minutes, but there wasn't anything I could cut out in order to give you a complete picture. I'm wishing you a very healthy day, and as always, thanks for watching.